The suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi was arrested this afternoon together with 4 others for their alleged role in the murder of Emmanuel Mbense in April 2022. Mbense's body was dumped in the Spaarwater Dam at Duduza in Nigel. SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis is at the Mbense home and joins us live now for some reaction. Good evening to you, Chriselda, and of course a lot of focus on this particular story, and I wonder how Emmanuel Mbense's family feels.
Well, it's the kind of answers that the Mbense family has been asking since 2022, since the murder of their loved one and the dumping of his body into that dam. The family has been calling for answers and had approached a number of law enforcement agencies trying to get answers and trying to get them to investigate. And now in 2026, just a few hours ago, the suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi, as well as 4 other individuals, were arrested for their alleged involvement in the murder of Emmanuel Mbense. They will be appearing at the Brakpan Magistrates Court tomorrow, facing charges of murder as well as defeating the ends of justice. And I'm speaking exclusively to the Mbense family this evening to get reaction from them. You cannot imagine since 2022, so many years later, there seems to be what they told me before we went to air, some light at the end of the tunnel. You'll also recall, quite important to point out, that it was Witness D, was Marius van der Merwe at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, who testified about Julius Mkhwanazi allegedly giving instructions for Mbense's body to be dumped in that dam. And for the very first time, emanating from the testimony of Marius van der Merwe, who was subsequently assassinated, the family got to hear for the very first time what is believed to have happened to Emmanuel Mbense on that day and how his body was dumped into the dam. I'm joined now by Nhlanhla Mbense, who is the brother to Emmanuel Mbense. But Nhlanhla, thank you very much for your time this evening. Siyabonga kakhulu for giving us an opportunity to come into your home so late into the evening. And this is just a few hours after 5 people have been arrested for alleged involvement in the murder of your brother. How are you processing all of this as a family this evening?
Well, we are glad that the justice wheels are turning in the right direction eventually. This has been long awaited from us, you know. At some point, our faith was tested where we felt like it's never going to happen. But today, the wheels of the justice system are turning in the right direction. And you know, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Nkulunkulu, because without him, I don't believe we would have been here, you know. Also to thank Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, because had it not been for the press conference on the 6th of July, where would we be? Not only them, there's a lot of people that took part that got us to this point. I need to acknowledge the relentless work that Nomsa Masuku and her team have put in. I need to acknowledge Captain Badirwang, who pointed us in the right direction. Had it not been for him, we wouldn't have met Nomsa. I mean, Nomsa stood up from day one to ensure we fight this. If it wasn't for them, we would have buried my brother, and his case would still be regarded as an inquest and not a murder case.
I mean, what emotions are going through you and your family this evening? I mean, when I arrived, I could tell that there's a mixed bag of emotions, relief, sadness. Explain it to me.
You know, Kakulu, we are relieved. We are relieved that the wheels of the justice system are turning. You know, we will obtain justice. There's a lot of families who haven't obtained justice for their loved ones. We consider ourselves very fortunate that we can actually say, good, there's the guy that murdered my brother. There's the guy that murdered my father, you know. there's the guy that left us with the trauma and the aftermath that we still have to deal with today. And we have to deal with the fact, I mean, it's not quite, it doesn't happen every day when law enforcement officers walk into your home and take a life and try to bury it, and it becomes being a lot. And we are very grateful to Mdali and the support that we've been given from friends, family, not to mention Abantu Basesontweni, the prayers that have been answered today. We're very grateful as a family.
Nhlanhla, I want to take you back to that testimony at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
Yeah.
Where I understand you as the family heard for the very first time what is alleged to have happened to your brother via the testimony of the now assassinated witness D, who was Marius van der Merwe. That you heard for the first time what's believed to have happened to your brother. Take me back to that moment of when you heard what is alleged to have happened.
It was a very somber moment, you know. It wasn't a pleasant moment. I mean, when you hear details like that pertaining to exactly what transpired. I mean, when I heard that testimony, I was at home. I mean, this is our family home where this happened. And I'm hearing a man that I've come across him in the streets of Brakpan, not even knowing that he was involved. I remember this one time I came across him at the magistrate's court in Brakpan, and I commented on his bulletproof. I said, hey, that's a cool bulletproof. And now to hear him speak and give testimony as to what transpired, and now this is replaying. Now I'm starting to put the puzzles together with, oh, it happened in this bedroom, it happened in this. When he mentioned of broken tables, now it goes back to my mind, what I found that chair broken. Then it brings back, but that chair, that's my great-grandmother's chair. To us as a family, it left us with a lot of trauma. Of course, we would have loved to know about this prior, but unfortunately, things transpired in the manner that they have. Yes, it wasn't nice, but at the end of the day, we're grateful. And it saddens us that Marius is no longer around, because as much as he was involved, but we are grateful that he was able to stand up and say what transpired that night on the 22nd of April in 2022. It was wrong. And he stood up and said, I will speak out. We really, really appreciate that of him. And we'd like to express our gratitude to him for that.
Yeah. And you'd been knocking since 2022, and I understand that nobody wanted to listen to you as a family. I also understand that you've also faced intimidation since the murder of your brother.
I mean, I recall this was days after my brother's passing, when we realized that this case is still being treated as an inquest, whereas you've got facts. Cops were here, cops were gone, my brother's gone, his body is discovered in the dam the next day, thanks to the fishermen that alerted the authorities of that, you know. And we then, a few days later, we then went to Brakpan police station to say, but we need to report this as a murder case. It's being treated as an inquest, and it shouldn't be sitting at Duduza police station, because the crime happened here in our home. And you know, thina ngesintu masishonela ukuthi umama uzohlala ematrasini, you know. I remember having to beg my mother, with Mama, I don't think they will hear me at the police station without your presence. Can we go to the police station to go open a murder case? And my mom, we all got up and we went to Brakpan police station. And we were turned away like we were being a nuisance. They were not willing to assist us. And the shocking part, you can tell that these people are fully aware of what you're talking about, which is then in turn what led us to say, okay, we need to go knock on other doors. Fortunately, we came across a gentleman, I don't know if he's still within the police force, Captain Badirwang, I still remember his name. If it wasn't for him, because he put us through to Nomsa Masuku.
From IPID.
Captain Badirwang, he was from...
Nomsa Masuku from...
Yes, Nomsa Masuku from
iPad.
And with the first interaction I had with she was literally at our house the following day wanting to find out. Until today, she's the one that's doing the arrest. We are very grateful to her and the team. And also to think back, we've encountered intimidation from law enforcement officials. We've been through a lot. And we are grateful that this day has come. At some point, we thought this day would never come. But we are very grateful. And thank you to Nomsa and the team and everybody who's pulled through. You know, the messages of support, the love that we've received from family and friends, and from the support we've received from Esontweni. We were very, very much appreciative of that.
What does justice look like for you and your family? It's been so long.
Honestly, what does justice look like for me and my family? Justice to be served in the proper and adequate manner for murderers. Because as much as people speak and say they were there to torture my brother because they suspect he was involved in something, to us, we just see people who came into our house to come rob our brother. Despite there being rumors or saying there was money that they took from him, I can attest they took my brother's belongings. Till today, all of my brother's vehicles don't have Netis vehicle papers. When you come to someone's house and you take Netis vehicle papers, when you take his tools, you came there to conduct a robbery. So as far as we are concerned, those people came there to come rob him and take his life. And they robbed us of a brother, they robbed my mom of a son, they robbed his kids of a father. I mean, he's got a 6-year-old now. The only remembrance that he has of his dad is through pictures and what the stories we can relate to her. And it's a very somber part that when it comes to that, because they robbed us not only of his life, but a pillar of strength, an anchor for our family, and they took all of that away from us.
Nhlanhla, you know that we can't speak about the merits of the case, obviously, because, yes, tomorrow we will be at court at the Brakpan Magistrates Court, where, thank you very much indeed for your time. We do appreciate it. Nhlanhla Mbense, who is the brother of Emmanuel Mbense, just, I would say, less than 3 hours ago, the suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department Deputy Chief, Julius Mkhwanazi, as well as 4 others, were taken into the Brakpan police station. They'll be spending the night there. They will be appearing at the Brakpan Magistrates Court facing murder and defeating the ends of justice charges. And, of course, Nhlanhla Mbense mentions a number of things, including how they were not taken seriously as a family by the law enforcement agencies when they first went to go and register their complaint that police were not supposed to be investigating an inquest but a murder. These are some of the questions that we will put tomorrow at the Brakpan Magistrates Court. Reach out to the South African Police Service as well about what the Mbense family has been alleging for years, that there was no one willing to assist them until they turned to the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. You'd know that the name Nomsa Masuku that was mentioned is the investigating officer in this matter and was also at the Brakpan police station as Julius Mkhwanazi, as well as the other 4 suspects, were brought into the police station. And the family says now they simply want justice. They are relieved that there are some arrests that have now been made into this matter. 2026 now, this is an incident that took place in 2022, and they say they still feel robbed by the murder of their loved one. We'll put some of those questions to the law enforcement agencies of some of the comments that Mr. Mbense has made regarding how the family was treated. Some right of reply from them will also get. But tomorrow morning at the Brakpan Magistrates Court, the suspended Ekurhuleni Deputy Police Chief Julius Mkhwanazi together with 4 other suspects. Some of those suspects include Chriselda Lewis, who is a former Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department official who resigned when investigations began, we understand, into another matter that she is facing. That is the more than 14 million rand precious stones theft, in which Julius Mkhwanazi is also an accused in that particular matter, as well as Adrian Mackenzie, who was also arrested this afternoon into this evening, who is an Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department official. So Julius Mkhwanazi and one former Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department official, that's Chriselda Lewis, as well as an Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department official, Adrian Mackenzie, and a SABC official, we understand, and a civilian. Those 5 will be appearing in court tomorrow, and the Mbense family says it seems as if the wheels of justice are finally turning.
All right, Chriselda Lewis there live for us at the Mbense home. Pain is still palpable. You can hear there from the brother. Really just a difficult, circumstance to accept the murder of his brother. And Chriselda there just bringing us that report from their home.